language portal. We are having a discussion today. I'm the managing editor of goodreturns.in, which is a group channel of One India and oneindia.com. We'll talk a little more today on the Union Budget 2018 and what it has in store with respect to personal income tax. So primarily we'll focus on personal income tax today. As you know, the budget will be presented on 1st February 2018, and this would be the last full-fledged budget for the present central government. So which means it generally is the case that you can expect a little more goodies than in the past. Now last year the government in the first tax slab between 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs tweaked the percentage and reduced the income tax from 10% in this tax bracket to about 5%. Now, it's unlikely that the government will tweak the percentage, but what can happen is it can raise the exemption limit. So, which means at present, people who draw an income of up to 2.5 lakhs need not pay any tax. What could happen is this could be raised, the ceiling could be raised to up to 3 lakhs or so. Uh, it's unlikely in the second bracket, which is between 5 lakhs and 10 lakhs of income, and people pay 20% tax on that, will be changed. This is because primarily bulk of the taxpayers would be in the tax bracket of 2.5 to 5 lakhs. And given that we have elections next year, the government would obviously want to dole out some goodies for people in this tax bracket. And so there could be a possibility that we could see the tax rates, the hike from 2.5 to 3 lakhs. Now, I don't foresee any possibility of any other changes between 5 lakhs to 10 lakh tax bracket, which is the 20% tax bracket, and 10 lakhs and above, which is the 30% tax bracket. This could, so primarily what we believe is that there could be some benefit for the first tax slab, which is 2.5 to 5 lakhs, where it's increased to 3 to 5 lakhs, and the percentage tax on that would be 5%. Now, what else could come out from the budget is Section 80C benefits, which people talk about. Presently, you utilize that Section 80C benefits of up to 1.5 lakhs. So what does happen under Section 80C is, if you invest in select set of instruments, that's public provident fund or national savings certificates or your provident fund or school tuition fees paid, you get a tax exemption. So how does this work? Suppose my income is, just as an example, is 5 lakh rupees. If I invest in these instruments up to 1.5 lakhs, my tax liability reduces from 5 lakhs by 1.5 lakh. So I pay tax on the remaining amount, that is on 3.5 lakhs only. So whatever income you derive, 1.5 lakh is deducted from that, which is the Section 80C tax benefits. That is for, as I mentioned, only select instruments like equity linked savings schemes, public provident fund, national savings certificates, school tuition fees, unit linked insurance plans, LIC premiums paid. Not only LIC, all insurance company premium paid. So it would mean also ICICI Prudential or HDFC life insurance, wherever you are paying your insurance premiums. So there is a possibility that this 1.5 lakhs be raised to up to 2 lakhs under Section 80C. Were that to happen, it's an increase of 50,000. So people in the 10% tax bracket will gain 5,000. People in the 20% tax bracket would gain 10,000. And people in the 30% tax bracket would save about 16,667 odd rupees every year. These are the two possibilities we are looking at. The third possibility is the reimbursements that take place. So just as an example, if you submit medical bills up to 15,000, you get a reimbursement there. This is something that has not been changed for many years now. So what could happen is the reimbursement part of it, there could be some nominal changes there. As an example, conveyance was
So
high.
last year also we expected this rise in the limit upon the medical bill reimbursement.
Right.
They didn't do anything.
Yeah, see, 15,000 is for one person, the tax assessee as well as his dependents.
Yeah.
Let's say you are a family of 4. Okay, so it's highly possible that your medical bills will be more than 15,000.
Certainly.
So there is a the government should favorably consider this and hike it, considering that the healthcare costs have gone up, and today even a post surgery the medicines, if you see, are so high, the costs. I I I think at least it should be 25,000, considering two three dependents at least.
Okay, is post UPA 2 government, Narendra Modi government has come in, it is already 3.5 years. So how do you compare between UPA 2 and Modi government with regard to these modifications in the personal income tax domain?
There's not been much. You see, last year they changed the tax slab in the first in the first slab, that is the 10% slab. They reduced the
Yeah.
to 5%, and then there was a conveyance allowance which was increased, and some benefits on housing loans that were given. The interest component on housing loans was raised to 2 lakhs.
Okay.
Uh, Apart from that, I have not seen too many benefits, and of course, health insurance premium was hiked to 25,000. So apart from that, there has not been many changes as
Sunil,
such.
how I see this thing is, there is another argument in the country that why this personal income tax, abolish personal income tax. There is a theory, there is an argument. None other than like Subramania Swamy and Anil Bokil of Arthakranti. See, they are all telling that why this personal income tax, straight away abolish it. Hardly the contribution of personal income tax to the GDP is 2%, which is abysmally very low. Now in our in local language in Kannada we say ಅದು peanuts ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದು 3 ಕಾಸಿಗೂ ಬೆಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. So why you keep, and essentially the middle class people who pay this tax very honestly, very promptly. And what's your take on abolishing of income tax?
I think at the moment the government revenues look a little uncertain with the GST. See, the targeted deficit for the government was 3.2% of GDP.
Yeah.
Last year when they did the budget. This year it's going, the projections are it could be much higher. Some are projecting it could be as high as 3.5%. Now, if you abolish it without understanding the revenue component of it, we could be in trouble. So we need to understand GST needs to stabilize. We need to understand that definitely I am getting this much amount of revenue from GST. Now, there is no other form of revenue except direct taxes and indirect taxes. Most of the indirect taxes like excise and sales and what subsumed by the GST. So direct taxes now are very important, and I don't think you can abolish it.
Okay.
Abolish it altogether.
Right.
Because you are in an election year, you are not sure what's going to happen.
No, precisely I'm telling. See, since you are in the election year, see now that there are several state assembly elections are coming up, including Karnataka.
Absolutely.
And next year, once again, Lok Sabha elections are coming up. So one fine day, Narendra Modi wakes up in the evening and tells demonetize the currency. And how I wonder, this February 1st, finance minister may say, guys, we have abolished income tax, personal income tax. They became a take us the entire country by surprise.
I doubt it would happen because again GST revenues are not certain.
Okay.
As you seen yesterday, the GST Council reduced
the cost of several
further.
items. Yeah.
So you're not going. There are problems with compliance. People are not coughing up as they should. So the calculations are gone completely haywire. And also with the fiscal deficit going up, credit rating agencies are watching us to downgrade our rating. So if you keep pushing the fiscal deficit up by now abolishing personal income tax without having a definite
plan
plan
like a
B,
plan, plan B.
It could be highly risky, and at this stage of the job.
So you are talking in favor of the Indian economy. I am talking in favor of millions of salaried class people, Sunil.
Correct. Yeah, but what's good for the salaried class need not necessarily be good for the economy. In the long run, it's going to. We should think of the country as well.
Fantastic.
I think it's going to be very difficult for the government.
Well, what's your take on the home loan? Several people, they look forward to the finance minister so that the taxes on the home loan, the first house, the tax now it is at 50,000, right?
Right. They already have done quite a few things. Last year they increased the tax exemption limit of the interest component.
Interest
in the home loans. They've also raised the principal amount on home loans under Section 80C. So they've done quite a bit. I think now it leaves. If you think of it, how many people really pay interest on home loans up to 2 lakhs? Which means your loan component has to be 20-30 lakhs to generate 2 lakh interest.
Yeah.
So there's very limited scope in that area for the government to really work
A
on.
very microscopic
Yes,
minority.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's very limited scope for the government to work on. Uh, what is possible is the government might look at raising revenues through the stock market, given that we are now at 35,000 on the index. What is happening is, so far, the past governments had always encouraged investment in shares, equity shares. Now that we are at 35,000 on the index and people are getting more
Highest.
and more,
Yeah.
yes, into mutual funds, I think it's high time to start taxing shares and mutual funds the same way you tax gold and real estate. Let me give you an example. If you buy real estate today and sell it after 3 years, it is accounted for as long term capital gains. But for shares, if you sell it after 1 year, there is no capital gains at all. And for shares, capital gains is defined, long term is defined as 3 years, as 1 year. For real estate, it's defined as three
3 years.
years.
Yes.
For gold as well, it's defined as 3 years. So there is a disparity in between gold, real estate, and equities. So which a lot of people are now started pumping money into the
What do you
stock
suggest
markets.
if I want to invest now? Where should I invest? Mutual fund, gold, or real estate?
Anything that has got to do with the capital markets right now looks uncertain, simply because the index is at very, very extremely high levels at 35,000. Uh, Coming back to, I would still prefer the fixed deposits in the current environment where equities are very, very high. Gold now at 29,500 is really looking pricey again. So probably real estate with the RERA coming in and you having safety from some safety net to protect against builders not building, not delivering on time. Real estate would not be a bad bet, especially with the RERA coming in.
Excellent.
So I think that's all we can expect. We can look forward to February 1, and
So
there
the
should be
D-Day
some
is coming. Let's
yeah, the
all
D is
hope.
coming.
Sunil, see, we have been, you have seen so many budgets, particularly you are a veteran. You have seen so many budgets you have written. As a common man, I would see that, there is a saying, keep your expectation low
Yeah,
to avoid any disappointment later.
yeah.
Friends, we are coming to the end of this live show. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for your intelligence. See, I'm Shyam Sundar and Sunil Fernandez, our financial editor, money editor, call whatever. He has been a veteran. We have been writing about the finance, many aspects for a year long. And I would tell you that as we go on, as we move forward week after week, we will be once again coming on this live event on Facebook, Web Live, a chat for this thing, just to update you about our thoughts and invite your thoughts. I appreciate you to leave your comments on our site, and we look forward to it. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.